Hey friends, today I wanted to give you guys a little bit of update on what's happening on the farm. We got some new things coming up and going in now that the spring is starting to come. It's nice just to be able to sit out here and be out here with the animals, listen to the nature. As the sun comes up, it's one of my favorite time of the days is in the morning, and be able to hang out with the animals and just feel the breeze and sunshine and listen to all the animals. So the weather's been nice and warm, but there has been some extreme winds, and there was an event with our chickens and the neighbor's dog that we have to talk about. Or 2 Saturdays ago, we ended up getting donated about 20 chicks from a school. The school usually donates chicks to us every year. The amount varies, but they donate chicks to us after raising them in the classroom. And so we were very, very appreciative of them for being able to do that and donating them to our farm. I love being able to hear what those students learn as they raise the chicks and experience the joy that comes from raising animals. Our chicks have made it home. We got them out of the crate and into this little bit of a run here. There's still a lot of snow on the ground in our area, and the temperatures are just barely above freezing during the day. So I've got them in here and in my shop. I want to send a huge thank you to the high school that helped raise these chicks in their classroom and the teacher. We really appreciate them donating them to our farm and to help support agriculture in that form. So if we bring you in here, hopefully the lighting's not terrible. You can kind of see the chicks that we do have. So the only thing we requested of the teacher was no leghorns and a variety of chickens, since that's what we do on our farm. And so we ended up with a couple of sex links, it looks like. We're guessing some of them are Americanas, Buff Orpingtons, and then we got this gray one here, which we're not 100% sure. We've been informed that they lay kind of a white colored egg. And then we have some bantams, and there's one right, I can't really point to it. I'll put an arrow on it, but he's got a little bit of an afro starting, so we're not really sure what that breed is either, just off the top of our head. Yeah, there's our chicks for this year. There's about 20 of them. We don't really have the budget for purchasing baby animals this spring. So right now we're kind of just leaning more towards the egg operation, which we've had and will continue to do with our duck eggs and chicken eggs. We may invest in a couple of more ducks to keep our flock a little bit younger. But nothing serious is going to happen until we're able to get some infrastructure on our land, meaning fencing for the goats and a little bit more of a chicken run area to keep them a little more contained, because right now when we let them out, they just roam our barn. So a huge thank you to the high school that helped raise those chicks, and thank you for donating them to us on our farm. We're really excited to have them here and to be the first baby animal on our new farm. We also decided to start some seeds, just some lettuces and stuff real quick, one spontaneous decision at night. I don't have any footage or video of us doing it. It was just something we decided to do right at the spur of the moment, and we had some seeds, so we planted a few. We went to a nursery, one of our favorite nurseries, and picked up some strawberry plants and some pepper plants that we didn't end up buying seeds for, just to have on hand. And so we got some greenery, and then Kaylee ended up getting some lemongrass to plant around the yard. So we've been planting some of the plants that we started in the greenhouse the days that we are here, just so we can regulate the temperature. And we finally got the temperature regulated on the greenhouse. We knew how much we needed to keep the door open to keep the temperature cold enough and warm enough for the plants. And then I saw that the forecast was getting kind of windy. I was like, you know what? I don't know how well that greenhouse is going to handle the wind. I'm not going to put my plants in the greenhouse today. And I'm glad we didn't, because we came home to the greenhouse completely blown over and blown 50 feet into a tree that stopped it. Nothing necessarily was ruined bad. There was one clip that was broken, and the tarp, or the outer plastic, had a tear in it from one of the tie straps that were tied to the post that had ripped. So there's a few things that need to be fixed. So our neighbors went out of town this week, apparently. We don't really talk to them too much. Been here about a couple months, and every once in a while we see their dog running around out here, and when we walk out in the morning, he's out here in the back pasture just walking around or whatever. Hasn't had any issues, hasn't any harm. He's been a pretty good dog, what we've seen, but we tell him to go back to his house, or he sees us and he goes right back to his house. But this week they were out of town, and the dog had happened to get out of his kennel and got into our chicken coop, got into our yard, and destroyed several of our chickens. We have lost over a dozen chickens, and we were only able to find about 6 dead chickens. So we have 6 dead chickens and I think 16 missing. With all that, we ended up going and adding in our temporary fencing, as much as we did not want to have to do this. So we added up some temporary fencing there to keep the chickens a little more confined. However, the ducks, the chickens, they do want out, they want to roam, they want to have the space. With that event of the dog getting into our chickens and us not really having a ideal fence, it's kind of pushed putting a perimeter fence up as a higher priority than what it was in the past. So we concluded that there are 12 missing, there's 12 missing birds, and we are missing a total of 16, including the dead ones that we've been able to find.
4 that are dead that we found. So 16 total at a loss
so far.
Unless we are able to find more, which we walked our property, I guess -1, because we have naked neck over there.
Yeah, we have naked neck. Chicken is over in the neighbor's lean-to or shelter. So 15 chickens are still are not accounted for. Or sorry, 11 chickens are not accounted for. Yep. 4 of them are gone for sure.
Yep.
So I guess the question is now, what do we do as far as compensation for the dog?
And you told him that the neighbor
the neighbor did confirm that it was his dog that got out. All the evidence points towards it. He's taken responsibility. So I guess, what would you guys do if you guys were in this situation for
15 laying hens that are
unaccounted for or dead?
Missing. That are out of our flock.
Overall, on the farm, we got our plants started. We will have a garden this year. It might be small, but we will have a garden this year. We still have 30 chickens, so not a total loss, but definitely going to be a little bit of a drop in egg production. We still have all of our ducks. We got our goats. We got about 20 new chicks growing, and weather's nice. It's agriculture. Some days are better, some days are worse.